How are you doing? How are you doing? You are full. You are also full, so put a tank there for overflow. And that, I think, is fine. That way, all of the bricks are over here under the hot bricks. And maybe I have enough stuff to process them. At speed. I don't know. Here. Testing. Let's have a look. It's not flowing freely. Because of course it's going to be not sufficient gases. Of course it's going to be insufficient gases. Let's see. Step 1 is... Alright, as much as I hate this concept, but it's actually perfectly okay to throw in this outlet gas into here, mixing the temperatures, so that I have a sufficient amount of the gas. Just make sure that it's not overflowing too much. We just need enough to keep moving. Now here, it's the same problem, so I need to, again, do that same thing. This time, adding more fluid into this tank, which will eventually, they'll normalize at the correct temperatures for them. The only thing that really matters that I have the full 1000C on is this last one, and as long as this is over 750, and as long as this one's over 5, should be fine. Should be fine. And yeah, now I can see that it is just a matter of not having enough thingies. Yes, thingies! Not having enough thingies. Bricks. Not enough actual bricks for this, but now it's full, so eh. Now we're full. And hey, guess what? I have bricks. I have all the bricks ever. So it don't matter none. I've got all the bricks ever that I can poop into this system. I have all of the bricks. Probably don't even need that many, but I have all of... Oops. Oops. No, that's actually the complete opposite of what I wanted. Thanks. Oops. Well, this is gonna be fun. Sorting through the things. Put back blue stuff. I did that. Those are things. Those are all things that I was carrying. Those are all things that I was carrying. That. Whatever. I guess. I'll get more stuff. Oh right, that's a few more modules. Oop. Get rid of those. Put that back in. I was carrying more things, but sure. Sure, yeah, you can have stuff. You can have stuff. That's also a lot of, rocket fuel you've got there. It'll be fine. So now I have to do something with this actual hot air. I have to load it onto the vehicles. The vehicles. For distribution. Literally everywhere. And I'm actually going to do this with a brand new train station. As odd as that may be, I think the solution is another train station. I don't like it, but I'll do it anyway. I need actually chain signals. See, this is part of my own inherent issues with stuff. Where are chain signals? Chain. And then I need something like immediately after, but that's fine up there, I guess. That should work. He says before immense pain and reckoning. Okay, you there. You are going to be Hot Air Station 1. Congratulations, you are the Hot Air Station. Just like you are the Hot Air Depot 1. Unless I gave it a name already, over on any of this. I did. You. Ha! Ha! Yeah, no. Just, no. No. That's not gonna be over there. It's gonna be over here. Okay, these signals, yeah, you don't exist, you exist. And everything should be fine. Also, over here, you don't exist. Period. Might use it for, like, more Red Hot Coke on the network, but we shall see about that. All right, we have that. We have that. Now it doesn't matter which tank I pull from. I need my doohickeys. Those things. Those. Yeah, power poles. Those are all good things to have. All really good things to have. Probably that and that and that were all in my inventory as well as those. Sufficient number of train stops. Yeah, all the inserters. Those were things I was carrying. Also the belts. Yeah, those were in my inventory. That I know for certain, and it looks okay. I think it's good now. Alright. Let me think a little bit. Let's get that down with these. These are, of course, added by the mod called the Black Fluid Tank Wagon. Black Fluid Wagon. More space. That is the mod. There is an equivalent version for the actual cargo wagons as well. Double the capacity on the cargo wagons, but triple the capacity on the fluid wagons. The black versions of those. Okay, let's try to get this to be even remotely consistent. I'm realizing the inherent issue of having this particular setup here. And that is that I need to share more faster. More faster between these. So really, this has been the spacing and setup I should have been doing this entire time. And it explains some of the behavior I was experiencing previously. Alright, King will be back to watch after the stream, the rest of it. Good to see you here. I have no other complaints besides the absence of pie block existing for the moment. Must have that pie block, eh? Okay, can I get, like, please, like, 5,000 throughput out of these? That would be great if I could if I could just get 5,000 throughput through various things, I would very much appreciate. That is 1909 in that particular setup. That is 1909. That's not quite 5,000. That is not quite 5,000. I need it here. That's 2250. That is just short. Oh my. Okay, do this in reverse. That... What? That? Oh. Wrong direction, buddy. That is 3,000 and 2250. Oh, what? Oh. Oh, that. Yeah, that. Right there. There we go. There we go. That's a number greater than 5,000. That is 6,000 total throughput with pipes. Aren't pipes awesome? Aren't fluid mechanics amazing? Don't you just love the fluid system? Isn't the fluid system great in this game? It's fantastic. I love it so very much. Fluid mechanics. Like, you could see just in the numbers there the pumping speed difference between having pumps after every intersection. Every intersection possible, every possible placement. Also, I am incredibly lucky here. I want to throw out that I am incredibly lucky here in the spacing of these. If these were just shifted one tile to the left or right in any placement here, I would have been screwed. Completely screwed by needing an extra empty pipe segment. But anyway, how many of these do I want operating at any one time? I think more than what I currently have is the answer to that. Yeah, that means I have to add it above. So this is going to change a little bit. Just a little bit. Smidge. I need that stuffs so that I can overlay. Think I can fit two. I think I can fit two. Could be wrong. Now I can fit one. I know I can fit one. Now, the other thing is that, will I ever need it to go to the right? Do you need hot air? No. So why would I need it to ever go to the left? I don't need this at all. This can just be exiting. There. And that is that. Yes? Yes. Absolutely. That is just fine. That works. Right there. Doesn't need to go in the other direction, although I could add it going out that way. Of course, then I need to make sure that I have a thingy there, thingy there, thingy there, there, That's just how I design the intersections. Yes, I know that the default method here on the blueprints use a slightly different layout with regular rail signals. I don't like that very much. I prefer using chains before any intersection. I follow the rule of chain before intersection, rail after intersection, unless before another intersection, right? Unless there's less than one train length before the next intersection, in which case then it is also another chain signal, as is the case here. It gets a chain signal at the end, and it gets a chain signal at the end. Otherwise, it gets a regular rail signal, excuse me, regular signals at the end, and just chains all in the middle. There. Simple stuff. Simple stuff. Make sure these are all named Hot Air Depot 1, which they are. This is going to be Hot Air Station and Depot. Once you are full, and then circuit condition. Set you to auto magic. How many of these tanks do I have, and how many trains can I place down? A few. You are immediately done. Give me all of that stuff again. Can do the thing. You are full already. Next train. You should already be full. Next train. Do your thing. And one more train. Just enough rocket fuel. There we go. That was not full. You go back. You go back. You go back. Nice waiting. Nicely waiting. Now see, this is what happens. This is what I don't like. Because then one takes longer to fill than the other on the actual train. When these are not even. Yes, I know I'm doing all of the input into one tank, but I mean, this is sharing. It's like, why does it have to take longer to just share? Just be even. But no, fluid mechanics. Alright. That, as they say, is that. Now, we need to define this priority, which means I need to go into petroleum handling to make a glorious hot air. Hot air. I'm looking for H. Hot Air Depot the first. Now, before it gets any requests in, I need to edit this to, instead of being 5 seconds of inactivity, to be a wait timer of 15 seconds or so. I could tell it to like be based on a count of some description, but it needs to be able to read a count, which it only can tell what's inside of its tanks, and I'd rather it not. We can update that, and it will be good to go from there. It'll unload for 15 seconds, which it should fully unload into 90k tanks in that amount of time. The last thing I want is for it to sit there and drain at the rate of consumption of the factory that it's unloading into. That is what I don't want to have happen, because then nothing else will ever get stuff, as was the case with the organic solvent input over here to actually make our outlet gas for. How much outlet gas for am I actually making here? I've got 5 of these. Oh, with these updated thingies, that's a few units. That's a bit of stuff. What? So, back here in the past, I had a plan. I used to have a plan. Oh yeah, by the way, my super steel is broken at the moment. Another one of those things. There you are. It was making 500. That's what it was doing. It was doing 500. I totally planned this out. That's using 1,000, right? Yeah, it's using 1,000. So the most I actually have is 2,500. But eh. Pretty sure I'm consuming more than 2,500 in this base. If I go and I do a search for hot air over the last 10 hours, it doesn't actually show me hot air because it is a fluid that is air. 10 hours. Air. The hottest of hot air. So what is 80,000 or 62,000 per minute equal to per second? About 1,000 per second. 1,200 per second. So, I didn't need to pull up a calculator. Please, God, no. Yeah, 60 per minute. That's one per second. 1,000 per second. 12. 1.2. 1.2 per second. Okay. 1.2 thousand. So, yeah, that's... I mean, I can check my math, but I don't want to. 62,000 divided by 60, 1,033 per second. Yeah, the 200 also divides. Rough estimates. Rough estimates. So a little over 1,000 over the 50 hours. The 10 hours, though, is a little bit higher. A little bit higher. But still not the equivalent of even 2,000. If it was 2,000, it would be per second. It would be 120,000 per minute. So yeah, even the highest amount listed in here is still lower than the current production, which is ideal. I don't need to scale anything up. Any of this production of the outlet gas up. And then also, ideally, at some point, as I think was alluded to by King Arthur, there is some sort of a plan to eventually have more, or have a way of reheating the outlet gas to 1,000 C from the, 250 that we're currently voiding. So at some point, we'll get more. Hey, you, buddy, Casein, hi, you need these. I would very much like more stuffs. Does any of this use hot air? Alright, so grand tour time. Remember what I was... The point of today, while doing this hot air stuff, is I am going to do a grand tour while doing this hot air update. So I need to make note of where I need hot air, which means it's a perfect opportunity to look through everything across the entire base to see what needs the hot air, but also to go through everything. Go through everything and show everything off. And I'll, I guess, start at the very tip top here. The very tip top is the Nexlit build, based around a singular Nexlit mine. Uh, was producing 72 per second, but now that I have additional mining productivity at plus 30%, it's another, it's a little bit higher than that, higher than 72. But the thing is built to process 72. This is through the scrubbing step into fine Nexlit powder. Uh, yes, I've done at this point some productivity on these when you're not supposed to, but meh, whatever. Saves entities in the long run. Um, and keeps the frame rate somewhat stable. And yeah, you need hot air, so I'm going to put a little icon for hot air over here just to say, hey, I need hot air up there. For that processing, I see, yeah, it needs hot air. Now, this isn't just making plates. This is also sending fine Nexlit powder onto my train network. Now, this is also efficiencyed to be minus 80% on the amount of power consumption, or effectivity, I should say. Uh, just to reduce the power consumption, reduce the number of drill heads that this consumes. Drill heads are actually being made right below. There's a little train station making drill heads, providing them on the network. I am not doing productivity here yet because I've just skipped over this thing. It's just this little thing in the middle of nowhere. I can technically do that, but it's this is the steel, aluminium, titanium recipe to make the drill heads, not the absolute highest, which use like stupid steels. Stupid steels, yes, that expensive steels. Is how I should put that word that. So yeah, there's drill heads and the Nexlit up at the very tip top of the base. Over here we've got the HCl Depot 2, so production of hydrogen chloride the second, but it is the main production of hydrogen chloride for the train network at the moment. At this moment in time, a whole bunch of regular old HCLs in here doing their whole lamp loopy shenaniganry. This is bot based on production of salt, limited only by the game's tick rate on the production of salt with the cycling of the recipes. You can only do one recipe per tick, or 60 recipes per second per building. So that's it. It can do the productivity separately, though, on that same tick. So you still get the extra productivity outputs from them, which is great. Bots take them from the mines to the washers, and then from the washers to the electrolyzers from the salt water. This outputs about 100 per second, if operational, at 100% of sodium hydroxide that then needs to get voided, and it gets voided, and I've got my stuffs. I have the stuffs. By the way, these electrolyzers output 1-to-1 with chlorine and hydrogen into these chemical plants, so I don't need any extra hydrogen in. It produces exactly as much hydrogen and chlorine as you need to make HCl. Uh, Precisely as much as you need to make HCl. And it's just lamps and coke in for this process. The coke feeds the mines, which are also minus 80% on the consumption rate for their power. Of course, right next door, we now have all of the hot air as well as outlet gas build that we've been at this entire time. I've got a whole bunch of mining drills down here that can be replaced with beaconed stuffs and setups and all that great shenaniganry. Here we've got conversion into red hot coke for coke oven gas that is then being converted into the various outlet gas 1, 2, 3, and 4s. The outlet gases also have a bunch of side inputs as well as some glorious side output in the form of the aromatics. This is a consistent supply of aromatics if if I void excess uh, outlet gas, which I'm not doing. I am, however, providing hot stone bricks, particularly because these get used for arcods. Arcods use hot stone bricks. That is that. This needs copper, nickel, acid gas, organic solvent, tall oil, and that's it. Is outlet gas part of a lot of recipes besides the hot stones? No, no, they're not. It is not. It actually the outlet gas 4. The only thing the outlet gas 4 does is convert to flue gas. These actually produce a lot of sulfur. That is another thing. The outlet gas stage 4, outside of the bricks that it does, it only converts to flue gas, and you have to add a little light oil to it to give you ungodly amounts of flue gas. To get ash. The thing with this whole process of these outlet gases is that it gives you a source of sulfur, I guess. That's like it. That's it. It gives you stuff, sulfur. Some of these have other things that they can do. The stage 2 and 3 are involved in upgrading cadaveric aurum as well. So that's sort of why I have stages 1, 2, and 3 in here, because they do get used for upgrading aurum. And I think the stage 2 also has a refined syngas that it can output as. Just add water to outlet gas 2, and you get a whole bunch of flue gas and some refined syngas, as well as an option for light oil. So you have a choice between refined syngas and light oil. Not the greatest of methods of doing these, by the way, because the stage 1 uses massive amounts of stuff. It uses plates. It uses copper wire as well as nickel plates just to get your stage 1, which is annoying. Also tar. So, like, doing stage 1 is a little expensive, just a little expensive. And then you have to add organic solvent to make the stage 2. It's like, okay, do I really want to spend organic solvent to get refined syngas in these amounts with flue gas, or light oil in these amounts with flue gas? Generally, no. Generally, the answer to that is a big fat no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. And then the 3 and 4, there's literally nothing else to do with them besides the aurum stuff. And then 4, of course, gives you some aromatics. Like, okay, aromatics. Sure, we go through this whole process for aromatics and flue gas and a whole bunch of sulfur to get rid of. Yeah, so that's that particular factory. Next door to this factory that we have over here, I have Corlex for casein, as well as the actual milk. The Corlex milk gets put onto a train, and then it goes to the mall. So Corlex milk plus casein is being produced here. At this point in time, I could delete, like, all of this. Like, all of this whole thing could be deleted and replaced with just additional trains in. could also increase the mark level of things. Yes, there is a sign here that is stuck to the map because there is currently a glitch. There is currently a bug where if you manage to destroy the entity in a specific way, the icon just sticks to the ground. It just sticks to the ground if you destroy the entity. I think it has to be you place it with a nanobot, maybe? And then if you destroy the entity, the icon just stays there. I could be wrong. There's a way to make it happen. So that's the Corlex. Over here, I have my raw fiber. This is producing like 90 raw fiber per second off of these kickalks. This is the highest level of kickalk recipe, the highest top recipe for the kickalk, consuming the growth factor. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the growth factor. Yes, this is growth factor, pesticides, ash, fertilizer, sand, and biomass, and lamps and seeds, and CO2, and water for these. So yeah, lots of stuff, lots of kickalk. Productivity is, I think, enabled by default for these, unlike the sugar recipe, which inherently makes these better than the sugar recipe. Just because you can productivity these. And I could put God modules in and have, like, a lot more. This makes 90 per second of raw fiber, and I have plenty for my needs currently. On the other side is a different raw fiber setup using the casein as well as sugar and a whole bunch of other stuff to make a bit more raw fiber if I had things. If I had raw fiber in on here, this recipe needs pesticides now. So this entire thing is non-functional. This entire factory is non-functional because this fiber recipe now requires pesticides. Am I going to add pesticides to this? No, because this entire factory need not exist anymore. Thanks to this. Thanks to this, providing all that I need. And of course, none of this uses the hot air, so I need a hot air up here. Thus far. Now as we go now down the line and to the left, I have some stone, some normal old regular stone. This has been my sole stone factory this entire game. Yes, I do import stone into my mall, and that is the only place I import stone. Moving on. Over here, there's some mining of coal for a burner line. This is pretty much just to make, I think it is the syngas for mining some nickel ore. This nickel ore goes all the way over here into mixed ores, combining rare earth ore, copper ore, and nickel ore. That then goes into the cobalt oxide. I think this is cobalt oxide. Extract, excuse me. This is the extract of cobalt. And then that gets put onto a train, which leads me into the actual, there's the copper source, by the way, the actual rare earth oxide production from these glorious extractors. I am producing a bit of rare earth oxide in here. It needs some organic solvent, ammonia, and cyanic acid in this process, as well as sulfuric acid. And it's just making my rare earth oxide. This is for the circuits, all the circuits on the planet, every single one, all of them, all of them. Now I also have this nice train station up here that is the provider of all the chrome stuff, but we'll get to that below as we continue on our journey.